bosses. Incarcerated bosses. Learn from mistakes, then we all win. Not like looking flawless. We got Felicia, Latoya, and Star Austin. Incarcerated bosses. Learn from mistakes, but we gon' win. We live on Vent Radio.
Hi everybody. Welcome to Incarcerated to Boss. My name is Felicia.
I'm Tracy.
I'm Latoya.
And I'm Tammy. Today we're going to talk about reentry, a subject that a lot of people, was calling about. They're interested in how to help people return at home. We have our own stories and we have some resources to hand out today. Kinda.
Okay.
Direction, more like direction. We'll have actual people here explaining how they can help, so you can hear straight from them. Not today, but later on.
The wrong show. I'm like, we do.
Not today.
Okay.
Okay, so we had Tammy here with us today, and she wasn't familiar with. Yay, Tammy! You got a standing ovation, a stylist.
I ain't never got that.
What?
That cheering.
Give her a cheer.
Hi, Tracy.
Okay, there it is.
So Tammy's never been incarcerated, so she's gonna give her perspective and her concerns on how she has had people in her family who was incarcerated.
Yes.
That she was wondering how to help. So there's two sides to this topic, which is people who have been incarcerated or are incarcerated, and people who want to help people who were incarcerated and are coming home. Okay.
Right.
Yep.
Okay.
So today we were talking about this topic, and we had 3 different issues come up. So I was locked up for 17 years, and I received under what they call an under the door parole, where I didn't have to see the parole board. Tracy was released on the commutation, and Toya was released on emergency or immediate release.
Yes, I was immediate release
So we all had 3 different issues.
from a federal prison.
Yeah, she was in the feds. We were in the state. So we all were asking each other about reentry, and we had 3 different stories to tell. These 2, with the commutation and the immediate release, seem to not have any resources. So, can you tell us about your release, Toya?
My release, I was in a federal prison during COVID, the pandemic, and we was on lockdown. So I was sitting on my bunk one day because we was just going through it. Like, they wasn't passing out tissue. The girls was acting petty with the pads. I was just getting fed up, So we had to stand in line for blankets. Like, it was just ridiculous. Like, I was just sitting on my bunk. Then we was wall to wall. Like, it wasn't no 6 feet space. All that coughing and all that. So I was like, let me write the judge a letter, see if I could get compassionate release. So I just went on and wrote the judge, like, Your Honor, if you feel it in your heart, I told him all the problems I was going through at home. I was just like, my mother at home, she by herself. I lost my father while I was incarcerated. I lost my younger sister. I lost my brother. My mother at home, I don't want to lose her. While I'm incarcerated, I was like, please send me home. I don't want to die while I'm up in here. I got low iron. I'm overweighted. I could be more use of at home of just sitting in here. I'm not of use up in prison. Since I've been in prison, I've rehabilitated myself. No one has rehabilitated me for me. I've rehabilitated myself, because I've made this choice. I've made this choice myself because I wanted to change. So what I have done, Your Honor, I have went to RDAP. This is a program. I got a year off. And since I have done RDAP, most people do RDAP when they get ready to go home. I took RDAP when I first got in prison, which I had 15 years. I was sentenced to 15 years. So when I first got incarcerated, I kept getting into fights, you know.
So what is RDAP? Could you
RDAP
explain
is
that a little bit?
it means RDAP is a residential drug. RDAP is a residential drug program. Let me see. RDAP means residential drug something RDAP. Let me write it down. Yeah, excuse me. Let me write it down. See, I had to pay attention to RDAP, but I stayed in the hot seat in RDAP because I had a lot of struggles. You know, like, say, for instance, I had to hold myself accountable for, like, walking through a gate. Instead of walking all the way around the gate, I'd take the shortcut. But then I see my peer, she'll watch me come through that gate, so I try to manipulate her, like, hey, you want to do some, have coffee and cake this weekend? She'd be like, I just want to know why you came through that gate. So now I'm mad at her because she want to know why I walked through that gate instead of holding myself accountable for walking through that gate. So, and then she just became a mentor. So now I'm like, dang, she just became a mentor. She about to start telling on us. We really just want to try to take the easy way out. But taking the easy way out, we not going to change.
So RDAP is a program that helps people that. So is that for people who use drugs or sold drugs or what is it? Is it rehabilitating you from using drugs or rehabilitating you from like selling drugs?
Yes, rehabilitating you from going back into society, killing yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because drugs kill. When you use drugs, you overdose. That's what's going on out here today. These kids is killing themselves. Taking these pills, they overdosing, especially today. It's worse today. Usually back then you could stick a needle in your arm and that's when you overdose. Usually back then the heroin was killing people, but not today. All you got to do is take a pill. They put it in weed, they put it in lean, they put it in everything today, so it's worse today.
Okay, so what are the things that they do in RDAP to help you?
We do classes.
Such
we got to
as?
do 3-hour classes. They program us. So, like, say for instance, me, I was falling asleep. So people used to be laughing at me in class because people talking about getting raped and all this type of stuff, and here I am in there falling asleep like this. They be like, Perry, so you could get slid back for that. So if you get slid back, you got to go back to another book. It's a 9-month program. But it was hard for me to stay up because I was just going through a lot. It was early in the morning. We had to get up. We couldn't go to sleep till 4 o'clock. It was a lot.
Okay. So,
but I struggled, but I finally graduated. It took me 2 years to graduate RDAP though. It was only supposed to be 9 months, but I got slid back. So they stayed on me.
why
what I'm saying?
Were drugs involved in the system or drinking?
No, it was just my struggles. I was struggling with responsibility. I used to be late every day coming to the program.
Kinda
Like it was a
like
roach
now.
in my locker. Say for instance, it was a roach in my locker. I couldn't take that, so I was scared of the roach. It was just little stuff like that. I struggled being late on time. I even got a shot for that, but I still was late after that shot because I still be late today.
So,
you know what I'm saying?
okay. So Tracy and Felicia, the fact that you ladies were in state, did they have that type of program as well? Or is it called something different as an RDAP program?
And it's RDAP. It teach you, like, say for instance, I get a job. They don't want me being late in there because if I come out here and get a job, I'm going to be late for my job. So that's why I get a shot for that.
So you say you passed this class?
She did not.
Yeah, I
She
graduated.
not late.
I got a whole certificate.
Oh, okay.
So this was big
So they
for
just
me.
wanted to pass you because you're always
No,
late.
this was
to
no. They
stuff.
don't just pass you. They don't
Oh,
play no
okay.
games. Like even my teachers, like.
Well, let me call your teacher. What's her
Well,
phone
yeah, if
number?
you call them and tell them how I'm doing, I'm actually doing good because I was working at a car wash. You know what I'm saying? Getting paid $6 an hour. So they would love that in me. You know what I'm saying? Especially by my son being a celebrity and who he is. You wouldn't believe that Mama Grizzly, was working at a car wash. Yes, I was. So they would love that because that's called overcoming grandiosity. You know what I'm saying? That's because, see, I was out there picking up leaves. They wouldn't believe that I would wear my clothes wrinkled because every day I wear my clothes ironed. They thought I was too good. I was better than everybody. But why y'all think that? Because I keep my hair done and my clothes ironed. I thought all the girls wanted me. I didn't think that. But that's the type of attitude that they had of me. You know what I'm saying? So that made me mad because they judged me. You know what I'm saying? Like today. Don't judge me. So I went out there and I raked leaving my wrinkled clothes. You know what I'm saying? I got on my knees and I picked weeds.
So you went out there to
Pick
do
weeds.
wrinkled clothes just
And-
because of what other people thought of you?
No, I did that after I got the shot for being late. So I had to go do that.
Oh, okay.
So that was overcoming grandiosity. No, I chose that. You know what I'm saying? So they wanted to see me. So I did that in front of the whole prison.
Okay.
You know, so my teachers, that's how they taught me to be a better person.
Okay.
That's called rehabilitating somebody in prison, you know.
Okay.
So that's what I did. But I'm the person that they thought was going to come back to prison. I'm the person that they thought wasn't going to do good. You know what I'm saying? So them same ones that was in there thought they was doing right, them the same ones who back in prison was out there using drugs. You know what I'm saying? But I stayed in the hot seat. It was all about Perry when we went to these programs. But I had tears in my ass leaving these programs because I was being picked on. But I needed it, you know?
Yeah, sometimes some things can make us stronger.
Yeah.
Okay, so again, is that something that you ladies had while you were in state? So state and federal is two different things. Yeah. So it's different programs.
Some people who had addiction problems before, when they came to prison or during prison, have to take what they call residential or some type of substance abuse thing. I didn't have that issue. Okay. So I didn't have to take that. So that's not something a recommendation.
Some people who had it like our dad, like we all get testimonies when we graduate. Like we have to all do, every day we got to do a skit in this program. We have to do something that's fun also. Every day we got to get word of thought of the day. We got to do a skit in this program. Every day we got to have a morning meeting. Every day we got to get up at 6 o'clock. We got to do a routine in this program. This program not easy to pass. We got to do different books. It's 5 DTSs.
Did you get time off for that class?
Yes, 1 year.
That's all.
And some people go in there just to get the year off, but they have something for them. Them DTSs, they know people come in there for that.
So,
but, one second. As far as me, when people get testimonies, people pick out the worst testimony and let people get that testimony during our graduation, because it's a struggle when we go through this whole year 9-month class. So the person get a testimony, y'all wouldn't believe what these girls have been through.
Okay.
It'd be deep. You know what I'm saying? So I'd be like, wow, my story ain't got nothing to do with these girls. Like, they'd be real drug addicts and real cases. And then they have somebody from the outside come in and get a testimony. You get some girls who say they ride a bike. They can't never get no license before. But by them riding a bike, they be so successful. You know what I'm saying? We love hearing their stories, but they been there where we been before. They be telling these girls, y'all can make it, y'all could do it, y'all could struggle, don't worry about it. Even if y'all was a drug addict or if y'all got drug addictions, y'all can make it. Look at me right now. I was a crackhead like y'all, but now I'm married to a doctor. I own this building right here. You know what I'm saying? So it'd be, helping the other girls.
Everybody make mistakes in life, and for me, I've never been in prison.
Right, I was just finna say that.
Right, can I finish?
I can't say nothing.
I was finna say about the ladies.
Latoya's show today.
No, I was finna tell you about the volunteers who come in. I'm finna finish with this because I don't know if y'all had this in the state prison versus the feds. The ladies are who've been in prison before. I don't know if y'all watching us or whatever. Some of y'all been in the federal prison, but they allowed the volunteers to come back there. A lady, she still come. Go ahead. I ain't gonna even talk to y'all.
I'm good.
But they allowed the volunteers to come back up there. The ladies who've been incarcerated, I might try to go back up there too to see if I can speak once I get myself together. You know what I'm saying? And talk about the struggles that I've been through. Once I become successful like I want to, you know what I'm saying? And speak to the other ones.
So what's your struggles that you're having now?
My struggles that I'm having right now, I'm having family struggles, you know what I'm saying? I have to, it's hard for me to just focus on myself, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm worried about my family, which I always worried about my family. But, before my father died, before my sister died, before my brother died, I've been worried about my family. And this is why I worry, because before I was worried about them, all this happened, you know what I'm saying? But now I can't worry about that because that's life, you know?
Okay, so my next question is for Tracy. I'm going to go down the row. So Tracy, what are some of the things as far as when you guys say reentry? What does that mean far as is that like a reentry is like getting out of prison and end up going back to prison, or is that something
recidivism would be a word that you would use for somebody who goes back to prison after being released. Okay. Reentry is just specifically for people coming out of prison. Okay. And so they have programming sometime before you leave and transitional program when you are coming home or at our release.
Okay. And what are some of the things that they offered you ladies while you were in the state prison that could help you? And you said, I know before you guys said that it's really not too much that they give you to help. But in order for people to get me to understand, somebody like me that don't know, I guess my biggest thing is I don't know why I think prison is just like, maybe I watch too much Wentworth and other stuff like that, because in those, they kind of give the ladies something to do. They have chores, and it's like to kind of help their time. Like, is that something that's realistic that's inside of prison? That like, so for the women who don't know how to wash clothes or don't know how to do things to help themselves.
There were no, and that I think you're referring to like life skills or something
Yeah.
like that. No, we didn't have anything like that.
Oh, really?
No, we didn't have
Is
anything.
that too much to ask for in there, or
There's just not anything available of that nature for as far as programming.
is it because of funds, or is that just something that
That
they
could
feel
be
like
it.
that because you're a prisoner that they don't think that you should have those type of things?
The thing.
I mean, just any type of just something to help. So this is my thing.
I was confused about the question you
Okay,
asked.
so my question is it something that can help the ladies?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, like I said, when I watch prison movies,
Mm-hmm.
like I said, like Wentworth, I watch stuff like that, and then I see how they have certain jobs and certain things to keep them active and like try to keep
like
them
in the
sane.
laundry room.
Yeah. Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
just
some
saying, like,
people don't
folding
know how
clothes.
to do laundry.
Okay,
It's
so
people
I
out here that
know.
don't know how to do laundry. It's just things that I'm just saying.
They
is
got
it
that
things,
though. They got that.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted to make sure I heard the question right. They got that there.
Yeah. Okay.
They got that there.
So I don't know, like,
She said as far as teaching people.
yeah.
So to me, this
If
was
they
a
don't know
job
They just
that they
learned
had
it.
laundry jobs and stuff like that. So I don't know. Like you said, it was kind of a mixed question, but
Yeah, that's why I
it
had
was
to
it wasn't
think.
it wasn't a reentry program.
Okay.
It was something that you could get a job at the laundry place.
Yeah, you don't
doing
have to
laundry.
know skills. They just go in there and learn it. You know what
Okay.
I'm saying?
Do you guys get paid for that, or is
Mhm.
it something you have to do?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What do you get paid? What is the fee for something like that?
Oh God, I don't remember. I don't know.
No?
I never had a laundry job.
So any job
it's-
in there.
So jobs are just very low paying. They're
Maybe
not
$30
minimum
a
wage.
month.
Yeah.
maybe,
Okay.
something
Yeah.
like
But that will help out a lot of people in
$30 a
there.
month plus what you charge everybody extra for when you doing their laundry. I do.
It could be a hustle for you.
We're
Yeah.
talking about reentry.
Okay.
'Cause-
Okay.
Can we talk
So
about
let's move on. So I'm gonna let Felicia ask a couple questions because I want to get an understanding of myself, like actually what reentry means. Because for someone like myself,
That's
I
what she
have
was saying about
not a
reentry,
clue
right?
like what does reentry actually means. Because I don't know what that means because I had a sister that was locked up. I have brothers, I have friends, and I still
about, like jobs. That's what she was saying, like the laundry, right? Like jobs, like reentry. Because where I was at, they wouldn't let us get no jobs unless you was going home. We couldn't get no jobs unless you was on your way out the
So
door.
I'm confused. So reentry is not meaning you're re-entering back into the prison
That's,
system.
it means reentering back into society.
Society.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So that's what I need to know. So
Okay.
re-entering back into society. So what do they do to prep you to get ready for society? They don't do anything.
They give you
other than-
jobs. Like that's what I was saying. They give you jobs. Do they do that?
Just in the feds.
Okay, yeah, in the feds, they get them jobs on their way. Like if you got 18 months and you're on your way out the door, they give you jobs like culinary arts, building. Like culinary arts, building trades, business education. You go to school, like you go to school, take classes, but the good paying jobs, like they let you, like. But I got in culinary arts because I was working in the kitchen already, so I was cool with the staff. So I was
Okay.
able to get in culinary arts, but I was cooking for the staff. But mainly, you can't get a job unless you're on your way out the door. So that's reentry,
Okay.
reentry into
Now
society.
I get it. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
They trying to prepare you so you could go out and get a good paying job, so you can have job skills.
Okay.
So,
So
you
that
could
was a vocational.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We have vocationals.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
so you couldn't get a job because you was immediately released because you had an emergency
Mhm.
release.
No, they didn't know I was gonna get emergency release. They didn't know nothing about that. I wrote the judge that nobody knew I was gonna get out. So I just wrote the judge and I just happened to get out. But
So-
before that I couldn't get a job. If I wasn't who I was, but I was cool with all the staff, so I was working for the staff. I worked in the kitchen. So I picked out the staff food. Like I cooked them on stuff on a grill. And and that wasn't cool either because they was really using our funds to cook what they wanted to eat. They was cooking steaks on the grill, chicken. I don't know if that went on in the state, but they had a whole
No.
patio.
Absolutely not.
Can we talk about reentry?
Back to reentry.
Yeah. So I just want to talk about some things problems with the reentry that I got out on a commutation through the governor.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't what they call a regular parole. So when you have a regular parole, you go see the reentry person that's in the facility. When you have a commutation, they really don't have you under their caseload. So the resources that they provide you on the regular parole wasn't there for a commutation. But what I found was that even the resources that they have was scarce. And also when you think about it, specifically for women, it's even more, scarce. So,
What's that state?
hmm?
For state?
So the resources were inadequate and not tailored to the needs of women.
Okay.
Yeah. So for instance, we have people who come out, and I did domestic violence, and a lot of them are paroling back to those situations, back to baby daddies and husbands and stuff that were abusive, because they don't have nowhere else to go. So they want to get out of prison, so they're going to go to that parole place, and a woman cannot get a protection order before they leave prison if they feel like they're going to be in danger. Right. It's against the law to give them a protection order.
Oh, that's not cool.
So things like that could affect a man or a woman are prohibited, as far as that, and they don't have anything for them. And another concern for me, being near people who had mental illness in prison and going to that unit and helping them and playing games with them and stuff, was people are held up for years sometimes because there's no housing for mentally ill people. So for reentry, they can't find anywhere for them to stay.
So what happened? They just let them
They
out
just stay in
society?
prison.
Oh, they leave them in there.
You have to have some special, if you have a special release, a mental health parole, you can't parole. You have to parole a certain way. And if you don't have anyone to go home to, you have to go to some type of community placement. Well, if the community placement only takes regular paroles, they don't take mentally ill people, then that mentally ill person, no, that wasn't ours, but mentally ill people don't have anywhere special to go, which is a few in number in Michigan, and then the women don't just have anything.
Right.
So that was a big issue as far as reentry, getting people released into the world before we even talk about the programs that are or aren't available.
So is it any type of programs that like the lawmakers can put together to make like a kind of like a group home? Is that like too much to ask for something like that for women who have mentally ill issues? Like is it the funding is the issue, or is there something that they just don't want to do as far as getting the help, because that's a lot of work?
What I saw is very difficult is because a lot of people who do have facilities on the outside community placement, they don't want to take people with certain crimes or people who have violent past. So that just narrows down that a little bit even more. If it's that restricted, it's going to be that even harder. Mentally ill, then you have a violent past, and you might have a crime that's, looked upon and it's inappropriate to be around other people. So, yeah.
So how do they think people are supposed to change? I mean, when they're letting them out, are they letting them out with the reentry because it's their time is up, or they did good? Which one is it? Is the time up? Like, so let's just say if it was me,
their time is up, or they release, or they might do program.
Hers is differently structured than ours. Yeah, we
Okay.
have what we call an early release date, which means that is your first time that you can be released, the earliest release date, ERD.
Okay.
And then you have what they call a tail, and you can max out, which is usually really, really high numbers. So most people never really max out.
So if I'm mentally ill and I have a violent crime and I feel like I did my time and I feel like that I'm a little bit rehabilitated.
It's not about what you feel. It's not about what you feel. It's about what they want.
I know, but I'm saying, so basically they're not going to accept me at these certain locations. So that makes the reentry a little bit harder for those
or
people.
Non-existent, because we literally know people that's been sitting there for years that have mental illness. They can't be released into society because there's nowhere for them to go, especially as a woman.
Wow.
What do you want the viewers to know? Or do they want them to reach out and help out?
I don't know how they can help out. Like I said, they have they by them being whoever, like, we have to speak on our platform.
And even for some of those people, if they had a family to go to, they could go to their family.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But if they don't have a family,
any information that we could provide?
It's a list, and the list is long. And while they're going through the list, like Tracy said, the facilities can deny you.
So were these people that came to the facility with mental illness, or did
Yes.
they become mentally ill in there?
Both.
Either
It could be
or,
both,
yeah.
Both.
So now they're in prison, and they clearly are sick,
Mhm.
and now they can't get out of prison because they're sick.
And they can't get out of prison. They can't show, because how we're structured, we have a unit for mentally ill people. Some cases are more extreme than others, but it's rarely an opportunity for them to show their rehabilitation because they're locked down like 24 hours a day.
And they have expectations for them to act like a regular prisoner, if you want to call it that, where they're never going to be able to conform to the rules and stuff like that. So it's almost like a catch-22. They're not going to, you know.
So if they do have it in them to try to, you know, act accordingly for 6 months so they can get released into general population, they get out and don't know what to do. Like
I
they
noticed
can't
you said
adjust.
where. Do you still feel a kinship of some kind to?
I do. I have a lot of people in there that I consider family. I was there 17 years. So I was there a little under half my life. You know, so it is people that I consider like family there. So yeah, I say we. I always say we.
I was curious. I mean,
And that's understandable.
Yep.
what about you, Tracy? Do you
What?
feel a kinship to some of the people that you left behind?
I feel like I almost left a piece of my heart in prison when I left, because I had love and people had love for me. And you just, a bond in that type of situation is some of the strongest bonds that you can have, because y'all literally are going through a really tough struggle together. So that makes, when you go through that type of challenges and y'all come out at the other end, it does make those bonds really, really strong.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a person. Okay, Eric, what question do you have? Are you still there? And you guys can call in with your questions. What's the number?
248
248
429
29
7224.
7224 if y'all want to call in. Y'all have any questions?
Okay, so let me say this. People like Tammy, who hasn't been incarcerated, has these questions, and they just seem kind of like so crazy, because you think people know stuff and they don't, and it's important for people who do make laws or provide programs to know and not assume that people know what to do and everything and stuff like that.
Right.
So, like I said, your perspective.
Hello, caller.
Go ahead.
What's your name and how can I help you?
Hi, my name is Sonia. I have two questions.
Okay.
One question is, how would you advise someone to walk their time without becoming consumed by prison? And the second question is, what genre of books are popular among inmates?
Freaky ones.
No. That's not it. Hood, urban books.
Urban, yeah.
And I don't care what color you are or what background
Ashley and
you
Jaquavis
have.
books.
I don't know, but urban in our facility, the women's facility, the urban books fly off the shelf in the library. Like I said,
All
you
Triple
could-
Crown books.
Okay, that's what that is.
Okay.
It is.
Right. And so it does, like I said, white girls, black girls, young girls, old girls, women, it doesn't matter. Those are the hottest books. And
You
then
got
we
to
have
work out. Make sure you tell them that.
Okay.
Okay. And then how
And then
would you
those
advise
murder
somebody,
mysteries. Huh?
how would you advise someone to walk their time? Say if they first time in have 10 years, how would you advise them to walk that time without becoming consumed within that time by some of the experiences?
For me, it was always from day one, prepared to go home. I don't care how much time you have. I always make the come in the door preparing to go home. So with that in mind, everything you do, try to make a productive day as far as, because let me say, most of your time is not going to be MDLC helping you or whatever facility you are. It's going to be you self-initiating whatever rehabilitation or correction or whatever you need. You're going to have to do it yourself. So you're going to have to take the initiative to get better, do better, and stay better.
So what I would say is, for somebody to try to walk their time down constructively now, are they just getting in?
2 months, yes.
2 months. Okay, so it's an adjustment. It's an adjustment phase in prison. It was for me. Are they young? Because I was younger when I went.
21.
Really young. So it's going to be an adjustment. No matter what you tell them, they're going to have to try to adjust to their environment if they have 10 years. But they can do that by trying to lower their time. A lot of learning and a lot of being in the law library and seeing what kind of laws, because a lot of times we're convicted, and it's that one thing if we knew that could have got us out of trouble, or but we don't. A lot of girls or men don't go in and look for that. So if he spends his time looking on, helping himself try to get home sooner, that takes up days and days. I use days and days trying to help myself come home early.
So what would you say to people who don't want to fight their case?
Who don't want to fight their case?
Because most people don't. And most people go into the system and they take a plea agreement, and you don't really want to mess with your plea agreement. What would you say to people who just want to do their time, and how can they?
I got a recipe telling them get 2 packs of brownies if they got the big packs and 2 Snickers. I'm gonna give them the recipe and just sell brownies and work out every day after chow 5 o'clock.
Someone wants to know.
Let me tell her to work out. Let me tell her how to work out.
Question.
The workout every day is a must. You got to read the word for sure. You got to have God in your life. That's first and foremost.
Everybody don't believe in God.
But if everybody don't believe in God, I don't know if you're a Christian or not, but that helped me through my whole bid, even on lockdown. But God helped me through it all because it's going to be some tests while he in there. Is it a he or she?
He, a male.
Okay, yeah. So it's going to be little clicks in there. I advise him to get with somebody older and wise. Somebody that's older who could teach him some wisdom while he in there. Maybe he could learn some things. Exercise is good. Exercise and a lot of reading.
It's a lot of groups that
with
you can
men.
take. It's a lot of organizations. You can start trying to. Sometimes we were mentors for girls 21, 18, 15,
18 to 24.
15 years of age.
Yeah, we have 15
Yeah, because he's young.
there.
I advise him to get with somebody older because
But
them
we met
young,
him at
they
the
be
gym
getting into
and had to
gangs and
try
stuff
to
because he's in a
16.
he's a guy. So I advise him to get with somebody older into positive groups, and learning things.
Yes.
Well, I thank y'all very much. I'm going to get off so I can continue to watch and share. And,
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you for
you.
tuning in. Okay, I
All
have
right.
someone that says, thank you. Someone said, can they answer my question on the CARES Act?
Okay, that CARES Act came under Trump, and that came under the federal system. Well, some money was diverted to the state, but the CARES Act was under the federal BPO, BOP. Is that what it is?
BP.
Bureau of Prisons. Yeah. So
they just did 10 years.
So, what are the ages? Okay, so at the age of 15, so now I'm confused. So they wouldn't be considered in juvenile. So they put 15-year-olds in an actual adult prison. So they're considered an adult. Is that based off the crime that they do?
They do come to the prison. Yeah.
They were waived as adults.
Yeah. They not housed with us immediately till they turn 18.
Okay.
But in a program where Tracy was a mentor and I was a mentor, they had recreation time in the field house, which is a gym, and they met the other juveniles over there for about an hour. It was about an hour recreation time.
Okay.
So we had I've never met a 15-year-old, but I've met 16 and 17-year-olds because I wasn't always a mentor. So
when you all started mentoring, did that give you a bigger purpose for getting your own sentences cut, or did that give you a bigger reason to strive, or not?
You just got to be self-motivated and be passionate about trying to make a change, because you don't get a time cut or you don't get really any recognition. We didn't get any extra pay.
So the mentorship
it was free. It was volunteer
with
work.
You all sentences.
No, it didn't have nothing to do with that. So we were self-motivated.
we were like reentry for the girls. So we did reentry things that we thought that they needed.
Hello, caller. What's your name and where are you calling from? Hello, caller. Hello.
Bye.
So we have a reentry program, which is not really effective for a lot of people. But we go meet with some, what are they called, counselors? Miss Rochelle, are they like?
Hello, caller. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Well, I'm just gonna go by the name E.
Hey, E.
I'm quite sure you know who this is. How you doing?
Hey, what's
I
going
wanted
on?
to ask the question. The question I had was, I'm locked up in federal prison, and the question is, they're holding me, saying I can't get the CARES Act because I had a assault on staff when I was 17 years old. So it's like back like in 1994.
What?
I called assault on staff, which wasn't even assault. It's like I just pushed them out my way, pretty much.
Right. You know, assault is a really loose term in prison. They just
right.
use it for a
That's
lot
the
of
thing.
things.
But I don't have no type of assault on my record or nothing. It's just a DOC. This happened when I was in state prison, by the way. So the DOC. I'm wondering, can they use that as me being having a violent history? Or do you have any knowledge on that at all, period?
I was a state prisoner. Like I said, that affects the federal. Maybe Toya does.
You say what now?
I don't know anything about the CARES Act. I never.
Well, I think once you turned over to the prison system, it really has nothing to do with the court system at that point. Your prison record is a separate entity from your criminal history.
Well, that's what I would thought too. But apparently they're using a ticket that I caught when I was in state prison in order for me to stop me from coming home because of that ticket.
Pretty much you got a propensity for violence, is what they're saying.
Pretty much.
Well, that's
pretty much by that
that
one ticket. So I guess a question I want to ask is there any way, by this being happened in 1994, is there any way that I can get that ticket expunged from my DOC?
So remember, we just had Felicia. She was just talking about how you can go in the law library and start researching and figure it out. Because one thing I used to do, and I worked in the law library for 6-7 years, if somebody do tell you something and they seem like they know what they're talking about because they this and this, it's always best for you to go see for yourself. So
I don't know if a case like that will probably be in the law library, but
don't listen. We all been through that. Nobody was a lawyer before they came to prison, so it all reads like Japanese, and it be looking crazy some days. But I promise you, if you just keep at it, you'll be able to figure out more and more, make yourself more knowledgeable. But the best thing to do in prison, I said, is to help yourself. Because sometimes these people, they'll swear they're a paralegal and they've been doing this or that, and they'll give you the wrong information.
And you couldn't be the first person that this happened to. There's case law. You just have to find it.
Yep, you just have to do like Felicia said, go and do your research. The key to your freedom is in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, trust me, I know. I did 11 years on my first day.
Don't let it intimidate you at all, because I've seen people who couldn't read, and maybe a few years later they was citing laws and case law, and so it's possible to comprehend and gain that knowledge. So don't let it intimidate you. Don't let fear or whatever it is holding you back to get in there.
Oh no.
Yeah,
We
get in
ain't
there.
doing that. That's why I'm still fighting now. We ain't gonna do that.
Fight.
But
read
I appreciate
read
y'all
that
though.
CARES Act word for word.
And then you can appeal your state tickets. You can appeal them. Did you appeal those tickets through?
Well, like I
up
said,
to
this happened back in
Lansing?
Yeah,
'94,
94.
so I don't know what type of statute of limitation on that. So
Right,
you know
that's
what I'm saying?
probably-
So,
Are you
Well, keep
accessible to
checking
the
state-
type of
Right.
things that they're saying, like as far as the books to look up and research for yourself? Is that type of stuff accessible to where you are?
well, since we on lockdown, pretty much, we don't have a library. They got it on the computer, one computer for 100 and something people. So it's very hard, but we gonna figure it out. I ain't gonna stop though. But I appreciate y'all's assistance and what y'all are doing. I appreciate y'all.
I'm gonna write that down about the CARES Act, and I'm gonna do some research, and I'm gonna make sure I share some of whatever I found next week on the podcast.
So if you can call in next week, next Wednesday, and Tracy will have some kind of information for you.
And you're in a Fed prison, right?
Yeah, I have
What
his
they was trying
information.
to do with the state case, somebody said, I don't believe the federal can't use your state case against you, but again, them people do what they want
Well,
and use they.
I don't know about the prison system, but the feds use your traffic tickets, okay?
Yeah,
Those
they
count
do.
as points against you.
Mm.
So your juvenile record can be used by the feds.
Right.
Really?
Too.
Give me a quick criminal.
Your record that you were acquitted of can be used against you.
Yes,
Really?
Used against me. Yeah.
yes. Matter of fact, I know somebody going through that right now. They were acquitted of a crime. Now,
So isn't that
legally,
considered like double jeopardy, like recharging you for?
Jeopardy, yeah.
but
This
see,
is
here's the
business
trick.
for them.
They're not supposed to do it, but the judge can still see in front of him cases that you've been acquitted
Exactly,
of.
right. Just to make
He
you look
still
bad.
has access to that information.
Okay.
So let's say you had a murder case and you beat it, right? But now you in front of him for assault. Well, he's already got it in his mind, you like to get on like that.
Yeah,
And that's how they do it.
they done dug everything you done did. And that's how they judge you.
Yeah, they say, well, we can't use that, but he already used it.
Okay. Ms. Tawana said, I would love for her to come share her story at my Women's Empowerment event 3/27/22. Who are you speaking of, Ms. Tawana? If you're still there.
I wanted to say something about the guy who just called too. You can appeal those tickets with, I don't care if it was from '94, when you're working on trying to get tickets off with a reasonable cause for your delay. You could take it all the way up to judicial court, and he can file a suit to try to
Her
get
name
that
is
out
Tracy
maybe if
Cohen.
he has to. So
Listen to my little lawyer.
no, because I had
Or
tickets.
Felicia Tyler.
Tracy
Yeah.
ain't had tickets.
So I don't know about tickets. Shit, it's true. When you don't have them,
Tracy, you had no ticket.
no
No
tickets in
tickets.
18 and a
I
half
can't
years. I
believe
had
it.
no tickets.
Tracy, how did you
slick.
do that?
No, I'm just playing. Okay, yeah, I would love to be in the women's empowerment because I am a women's empowerer, and I am advocating mostly as far as criminal justice. My focus is on women, so definitely can you leave your contact information?
Yep, her name is Miss Tawanda, MZJ, and then Tawana.
Okay. And did she leave any contact information?
So I'll be able to get back to her through Facebook because she's on my Facebook Live.
Okay. I will be in touch.
Yep, she will be in touch. Okay.
Okay.
We encourage you guys to call in with your
Thank
questions.
you too for inviting me, Mr. Rana. Can't wait to speak to you.
So, I want to know how you stayed ticket free for damn near 20 years. Me knowing you the way that I do.
They said, do we have a podcast on Spotify or Apple Music?
No, we don't.
No, we don't. No Spotify or Apple Music.
We tired of all them folks now. We got enough.
Okay.
We had enough of them.
Tracy,
I know. I was waiting for everybody to finish. You finished.
sometimes you just have to take it out, take your shot, baby.
So yeah. So I don't know. I stayed ticket free. I don't know.
you had
You
to have
gotta
some
use
kind
your
of method.
head in there. Like some people speak without or move without thinking. Like I wasn't doing like everything they said do and
So
stuff like
no,
that.
none of the other girls got on your nerves.
Yeah.
So how did you maneuver?
So a lot of times, Glenn, what kept me centered and grounded was to think about going home. So I didn't want nothing to keep me there, not one extra day when my day came up. And I didn't want them to say nothing. And a lot of times, like I said, that was the way that if I was triggered, I would try to think about, this might jeopardize me going home a day. So because when you go to that board, you could have 1 million tickets and go home, and you could have 0 tickets and they still say something. So just anything was always bringing me back to, it ain't even worth it. So that's a lot of times what kept me centered. And like I said, times I just got away with stuff, and times I did stuff and I was able to, what else? Another thing that works with the officers, if you do wrong, just say you wrong and apologize. I'm sorry, I disrespected you, or my bad, I shouldn't have did that.
That worked
and that
for
nips,
her, not me.
It nips it in the bud a lot.
I ain't never
So they had their
I
favorites.
ain't never had
They
telling the
did.
police
She was
the
a
truth
favorite.
work out.
I don't know. I don't think I was a favorite because all the officers didn't really know me because I didn't really intermingle with them. So it was just a respect thing, I think.
Did you have any men officers that liked you, that you knew of?
So let me talk about this women's empowerment thing that I want to attend and be a part of. So
You home, Tracy. You can't get in trouble. You're home.
no, but I am representing some people that I do not want to get into that.
No, I'm not.
Right now.
Well, I know we can't get into names. That's
I
just
don't
want to
get into names.
Yes or
I
a
don't
no.
want to answer. It really is irrelevant because I did not seek a relationship with anybody in prison.
Then that would be a no.
Okay. If you say so.
What the other phone?
Okay, now get into your women's
You gotta
empowerment.
Okay.
So what type of things would you be doing for the women empowerment? What type
So
of things we
my
should be
thing
looking
is that okay, so the women make up a small percentage of the prison population, less than 5%. So we don't commit most of the crimes or the violent crimes. So most of the women that's coming in now, they have property crimes associated with drug addiction. So we have to have a different approach
Okay.
than what is already structured for us. And I think the only way we can really address issues is to have people speaking out who have been through that, and not people who think they know what we need based on whatever information they have. So if they're not talking directly to us or listening directly to us, it's going to be really hard for them to address the specific gender needs that we may have similar needs, but we also have different needs as women. So to empower a woman is to give them the tools they need to be successful, to go from incarcerated to boss. And if we don't have that, we don't have that sisterhood like Miss Tawana reaching out, just trying to see how we can empower other women and give them that, because the men do have a lot more programming and stuff like that, and more organizations that want to help them and stuff like that. So
Do you plan to set up your own women empowerment anytime soon? Or are you going to just involve yourself with other people's women empowerment?
Right now, I work under Horatio Williams Foundation.
Okay.
And the thing that's cool about Horatio is that he's open to whatever his employees, or whatever you want to call associates, want to do it with his, under his foundation. So some of the things that I'm interested in doing is having a domestic violence workshop, an educational workshop, also they have funding right now for an etiquette class. So
Okay.
Felicia, she did that in prison. She did an etiquette workshop in the youth unit. So we want to do that again under the funding that we have.
Are you looking for volunteers for people that might want to come in and assist you in those type of things? And if so, where would they come? Would they come to the Horatio Foundation?
I don't know how he accepts volunteers under his foundation,
Okay.
but our etiquette workshop will be ran and facilitated by us.
Okay.
And so we are looking for people who want to come in and have etiquette. So her workshops will be for ages 10 to like 16, 18,
Okay.
and then we'll have another group of women from 18 to like 25.
Okay.
So
and
it'll
is
be
25 the max of the
Well,
age?
you know,
range?
it's not that restrictive. You know, we would let people in,
Okay.
but that was the focus.
Now, and this is only for incarcerated women only, or is that for anyone?
No, it's just incarcerated women empowering whatever woman is
That
out there that
needs
wants
it.
that, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So you guys, if you are interested in any of this, you can contact Tracy or Felicia on our site. What is it? Incarcerated to Boss on Instagram, or you can email us at incarcerated to Boss. What is it? Was it 04? It's I got 1,000 emails. but you definitely can contact us and leave a message on Incarcerated to Boss on Instagram and leave a message.
Can I say something? Because I just got out of prison about a month ago, and we were talking about reentry, supposedly. I'm being sarcastic. So when I came out, I went to a place called Detroit at Work, and they contacted me at the prison before I left because they saw me on some type of list of people getting paroled under commutation. So that was very, very helpful because, like I said, the facility didn't have anything for me because I didn't have a regular parole. But Detroit at Work, when I went to see the lady, she had gift cards. She's going to help me get a laptop, help me get identification and all this stuff. She was very helpful. But what she said was the problem is they have funding. They have people who want to help, but the people don't show up. So she was so excited that I showed up. And she was like, people don't utilize this. And I was like, why? I couldn't understand it. I want everything you have. And she was like, either they not humble enough. They don't want to come in here. They act like they gonna be good without that, or they just don't show up. So let's not say they don't provide resources a lot of time and all that, because all you have to do is show up sometime. And this lady was getting me together.
Like
Miss Klein, thank you, Miss Klein from Detroit at Work.
Thank you, Miss Klein. We
No,
appreciate
no. So that's for the women that's coming for
It's not just
reentry,
women;
right?
it's for anybody who's coming
so
out of prison.
that's just for people coming out of prison.
I don't know if Detroit
who
at
just
Work.
came home from prison. There is resources.
Okay, Toya.
Where's the resources? Say it again.
It's called Detroit at Work, and they come under Michigan Works. So Michigan Works helps anybody.
Yeah, they
So,
do.
You know,
there it
so
is.
They help you
There
get
is
cars
help.
up to a certain
They help
amount.
you with so many things.
Yeah,
But
'cause
you
I used
would
to
be
be-
surprised how empty that place is compared to how many people say they need stuff.
Yeah,
All right, so-
I used to work for Michigan Works. I was the administrator, and I also was the one who helped the women stay into compliance with their caseworkers. So I do know a little bit about that. So I do know that we did help you get a car up to $1,400, but you did have to work. We gave out clothes vouchers, food vouchers, but again, you would have to be in compliance with work first too. So
Well, this incarceration reentry resources that we were given was not associated with having to work.
okay,
So this is just stuff that they had for, because you came out of prison and literally I walked out with whatever I had on what I had as far as clothes, underwear, everything that's all I had.
okay,
So that was very helpful for me, and not with any strings attached. Just come out because you were incarcerated, come get these resources. and stuff.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
And
well,
I was
good.
not too
Too
whatever
proud.
to come
proud
get them.
to-
Yeah.
yeah.
But she felt like a lot of people just don't want to be humble and come in and get it. So
So what do
What
they
they-
do? They just walk down to
Yeah, I was gonna
Detroit at
ask
Work?
that.
yeah, but you make an appointment, or I don't know, because they reached out to me, but I had an appointment and it was easy. Like I'll be there later, and that was my appointment. So like I said, people don't reach out. And let me say this too. Even if, they don't reach out to you, you reach out to them.
Yeah.
You take the initiative to reach out to people. Don't wait on people's stuff to fall in your lap, because that's really not how life is. So you need to meet them either halfway or try to reach out and make sure you get what you got coming.
Yeah, it's a lot of nonprofits trying to help us, but like Tracy said, people just don't show up. It was 3 girls who was going into a program called Getting It Right with Me, where we get a mentor and resources after through the Michigan Parole Board, which they referred me. And it was 3 of us supposed to go. I was the only one who came. I had been the only woman in the program ever.
Oh, really?
So Vince, he said he would come on and talk about the reentry program that they have. But it offers a lot of resources too. And people just don't go. A lot of nonprofits struggle because they don't have the numbers to keep the funding coming in for their nonprofits.
So what is it that you can do? Like, what is it that you can do? Is it like a list of people that come home from prison that like you can contact them and say, hey, these are the resources that we have for you. I think you should take advantage of them and, just invite them, because maybe they don't know themselves.
Maybe they don't.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Maybe they don't. But
they know now. If they watching, if y'all know somebody, let them know.
Let them know what.
that there is help.
Things like
you mean,
getting
let 'em
it
know
right.
what you
I want to
talking
know
about?
what you was saying.
Okay,
so
man.
I was
What we
turned
talking
on-
about?
I was turned on. I was turned on to 2 different things today. One was called Second Chance, and they do reentry. It's another one. This girl who was locked up with me, her name was Kim. She has a thing called Redeeming Kimberly, and she was a juvenile lifer who got out, and they said she does a lot of things specifically too for women. So those are 2 things that were given to me today. I met with the faith-based and urban affair appointee from the governor who met with me today at the foundation. And so those are some of the things. They work with MDOC, some of them, and just stuff like that. So they're out there, but like I said, you got to reach out to people and stuff. It was a guy, Pastor Terrence, he reached out to me through Richard Wershey. They were going to, provide resources as well. Mostly their focus was on exonerees, because people who are exonerated are not given any resources. They're like, goodbye, oh, you're not guilty, okay, bye. So you don't have a parole, so you're not going to get parole resources.
So what's the best
Even
way
if you did
to
some of the
locate
time?
these people, these organizations?
Through other people. But here's the thing, and that's what I talk to them about. We have to have some type of centralized person or group that's gonna tell where to go.
Right.
Here's the network, here's a
Portal.
person who's the person who provides you information for the network. Because it's getting it here and getting it there and getting pieces. So maybe if we could, somebody is interested in coming together and providing that information, like in an informational way, like online or in a booklet or whatever, saying this is where you go, this is where you can go, because they didn't get that to me, and I just left. It wasn't nothing like that. So it's all been somebody who heard something to somebody, and that's how I've been getting the information.
Now I do have a question. So, is there a way like you to find out like the women that's leaving the prison for reentry? Could they give you like a list or anything like that to know who's coming out, so like you can stay in contact with them to let them know about these resources?
I don't know what MDOC would do, but I know that's public information.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you went on and you knew, well, you would have to know the name or something.
Yeah, that's
right?
what I'm saying. Like, what
So
if you don't
didn't
know
if
the
it was
person?
random. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a
So
good
you
question.
just couldn't walk up in there and say, "Hey, could I have a list of the people that's getting out within the next?"
I know
2
Detroit
months?
at work, she had access, but she was a state entity, so maybe they had access that a regular person would be able to have, because I don't know if we have a list. Yeah, I never saw that before.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I think that would help. Like if you knew who was coming home and they didn't know about these resources, because somebody like you, I believe that you and Felicia was very valuable in the prison system, far as if you say that you were mentors, you did law. So they lost a couple people that help them in those areas. So it's like now that I feel like that if it was me, I'm in there and I depended on y'all to like, oh my gosh, she's not here now. What am I to do? You know what I'm saying? So it just seemed like that they would help. I mean, the common goal is to get people help and to make things better. I mean, so people wouldn't go back to prison. That's what I would think about that type of stuff. So I don't see what would be the problem to give a list for people like yourself and all of us, you ladies that's trying to help other people, to say, hey, okay, well, such and such is coming home. Even if the governor did it, if she's able to do it and say, hey, okay, here you go. These women are coming home. If these are the programs and the things that you are offering the ladies, well, these are the ladies that you can contact so that maybe they can get help so they don't have to go back to those violent homes that they didn't want to go home to, that, you know.
So today I had a conversation, like I said, with the Dion Williams from the governor's office. And they were really like just checking up on me too to see what I needed, the governor, you know, and everybody. So that was important. But before I even really talked about myself and stuff, I was telling them exactly what was going on as far as the needs not being addressed and stuff. Like, it's not just about me, it's about everybody that's coming out the system, out of prison, and not having what they need, and not even it being addressed. Like, it's a one-size-fit-all release. Like, they're giving everybody the same resources and everything, and it's not specific or tailored to that person.
When you get finished, we have a Ladell Richmond. I like what y'all doing. I like what y'all is doing, and I would like to get together with y'all because I have a new nonprofit organization that would like to help.
Okay.
Ladell Richmond. All right, Ladell, I got you.
And far as like with the reentry of women coming out, like far as jobs, how is it now? Like far as jobs, are jobs really strict about felonies and stuff like that? Are they a little bit more lenient about that, or?
People keep saying they are more lenient, but they are really not.
What is that?
Jobs.
As far as jobs, like for re-entries, like is it easier to get jobs if it's not somewhere that's like a foundation or something? Like how easy is it for someone that has a felony to go out here and get a job like someone who doesn't have a felony? Is that a big issue as well?
Yes. Yeah, I know a lot of people try to get jobs, got through the drug testing, got through the interview process, got to the job sometimes, and then got there and was like, when you get there, oh, we checked your criminal background. You can't work here. No, but that assault with a
is that for only like non-violent crimes, or is that for any
It
crime?
seems like if it's not one thing or another. So you can't work here because you're a violent offender. You can't work here because you did fraud. You might steal something. You can't work here because you have a drug offense. You might sell, do, or use drugs on the facility grounds. It just.
So it's pretty much you damned if you do and you damned if you don't.
Basically, you know, you a CSC. Do they get jobs? I don't know about them.
So I mean, I guess I would look at it like as if I had it and I had a nonprofit organization, I probably would want to only hire felons to get themselves back together, because I mean, without a job, I mean, that's almost like saying they're looking to go back to jail, because if you can't feed your family or yourself, I mean, you're gonna end up doing something illegal to sustain out here.
That's what I was gonna say.
That's true. Yeah.
So what you say, Glenn? What you think about that, as far as them not being able to get jobs and being a felon?
I think that that's just a part of systemic racism, and it is put in place to not only keep people from excelling in life, but it keeps us out of the workforce. It keeps us away from capital. It keeps us even you can't even rent an apartment now because you had a felony back in 1975.
They go back that far?
They go back.
They go back as far as you go back.
It's,
wow.
So it's systemic. It's not just the the court system or the prison system that's doing that. It's a much bigger structure that's doing those type of things, and that's what causes people to commit more crimes. I mean, because
Exactly.
if you can't get somewhere to live,
Felicia
then
said something about not federal.
you've
It
turned
doesn't
that
come
you've
up
turned that
unless you
person
get in
into a
government
desperate
job,
person.
So job depends.
So you
Federal-
know, everybody needs
federal
somewhere to
prison?
live.
Everybody. Or are you
Federal
just gonna
jobs
be
ain't
like on
easy.
Skid
So
Row
that's
out
something else
here
I need to bring up too,
homeless?
probably.
You know, and I think that's, you know, it's kind of sad. I just wish it was something better that the system can do far as like the reentry. You know, I learned a lot today far as how that works. Thanks for explaining that to me, but I'm pretty sure it goes deeper into what it's more than an hour's worth of talk that would need to be
And like Felicia said, in the next upcoming months, some of the guests we're going to have are going to be specific to addressing those topics and providing information and having other people with organizations that help other people. Deanne Williams is going to be on soon.
Okay.
We also going to try to invite people from these other organizations. So yeah, it'll be more information as we go along with the conversation. This isn't a one and done conversation. It's a conversation that's going to continue until we can address the problem more appropriately, more adequately.
My friend Brittany says that she works in HR, and honestly it's hard, but she say I do have some companies that accept felons. So if you know anyone that's a felon that is looking for a job, she said that she have companies that accept felons.
Okay.
Okay, do you
And
mind
if the guy who sent, maybe
Yeah,
he
her
has
name's
a resource.
Brittany Dorsey. She's my friend, so I could get her information and get you guys in contact with each other.
And the guy who said it was easy for him, maybe he has some resources you
So
can
if
send
anybody
to us.
have any other resources as far as knowing about knowing about for felons to get jobs,
Tap into our Instagram, Incarcerated to Boss.
let us
Y'all
know.
follow us. If y'all have Instagram, if not, tap in.
To
every
Twitch Radio.
Phone, you disregard them showing the money.
week.
Right.
I want them to tap in. They don't know.
Give him your money.
Okay.
So we're going to start wrapping up for today.
Y'all tap into our show. It's ventradio.net. And
going
we on every
signing off.
Tuesday at 5 p.m. Y'all can watch the show. We starting the show
And it's
every
on
Tuesday.
YouTube. What is it? YouTube. It's on twitch.com.
Yes,
Vent Radio.
we are on Twitter under Vent Radio. We are on Twitch under Vent Radio. We are on Mixcloud under Vent Radio 313. Then you can go to listen to our website, ventradio.net. We're also on TuneIn. You can download that app to your phone in case you're driving or something you want to listen in to the show. That's one word, tune in and search Vent Radio.
Tune in and search Vent Radio.
And YouTube, we're
Ladies and
on
gentlemen.
Vent Radio Plus.
Okay.
YouTube.
Every
Vent Radio
Tuesday at
Plus.
5 p.m.
YouTube, Vent Radio Plus.
Okay, y'all.
YouTube, Vent Radio Plus. That's a
Can
plus sign,
I
not the
shout
word
out
plus.
some people right quick? I got a list.
Okay, shout
Because
them
these
out.
people really do help people
See my Instagram.
once they get out of prison. So this list is specific to that. So Robin Lucinda Boyd, they have the Streets Don't Love You Back nonprofit. White boy Richard Hershey and his wife, that I like to call his wife, Michelle. They help people. They've helped me tremendously. Michigan House Representative Tanisha Yancey and her assistant Aisha. Yancey was instrumental and also in my commutation in helping me get out and provide me with different people to get resources. She even offered me a job in Lansing. The Horatio Williams Foundation. Horatio just is amazing because he does specifically hire and invest in people who have came out of prison. Michigan Governor Whitmer, thank you for sending Deanne Williams my way, checking up on me about what I needed as far as resources and everything. And just my families and friends were first and foremost. Oh, and I had an interview with Snoop Dogg's daddy, the Snoop Dogg, and Pop Smoke was a mailman on the east side of Detroit. And we had a really good interview, and he's reaching out, he's trying to help and everything. So I just want to shout out those people. And most of all, I want to shout out God, because without it, nobody would be doing what we're doing, and we wouldn't have what we have. And so I just thank God that God is always in control and He'll provide.
Amen.
So thank you everybody for tuning in. Like I said, if you have any resources of anyone for reentry that they need jobs, these ladies need jobs. So if you know of anyone who's hiring that are hiring felonies, if you're in the HR and you want to reach out, please reach out to us at Incarcerated to Boss on Instagram. And we definitely will get back with you. So no message will go unseen.
Unaddressed. You said unseen or unaddressed?
Or unaddressed, for sure.
Now it is unseen.
Now,
Messenger.
when we get super busy, just know that, once the inbox start getting full, it might take a little time for us to get back to you, but just know that we will get back with you as soon as possible.
Y'all follow us at Incarcerated to Boss on Instagram and tune in to ventradio.net or Vent Radio Plus. Vent Radio Plus. That's the plus sign, not the word plus.
On YouTube.
On YouTube.
Oh yeah, this was from my foster child that I kept when she was a baby. She was my baby daddy's niece, and I took her from the system, and now she's got her little Billy Goat collection. Good job, Jamaica. Love you.
She got some representative Queens Rising.
This is Queens Rising. Shout out to Queens Rising. This is a guy who was in prison. He got Kings and Queens Rising. So we represent too.
Yeah.
Represent local businesses, y'all. Kings and Queens Rising. Shout out to Better Days.
Okay. And I do closed mouth.
Shout out to Closed Mouth.
And my boutique will be open in
Boutique will
March
be open shortly.
12.
What's the name of the boutique and where is it?
My personal stylist.
Okay. My personal stylist.
Yeah.
Y'all be on the lookout.
Yeah.
Y'all see it?
Grand opening March the 12th.
March 12th, come out, support local businesses.
I'm going to let them know during the grand opening, before the grand opening.
All right now. So y'all
We're
stay
still
tuned.
working now.
Tune in every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Vent Radio Plus on YouTube. That's every Tuesday at 5. And y'all can look at it anytime.
Okay, say good night, Tammy.
Good night, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Yep.
Our host.
Have a good night. Stay blessed and be safe.
All right.
Life hit us all with some losses. Incarcerated bosses. Learn from mistakes, then we all win. Now life looking flawless. We got Felicia, Latoya, and Star Austin. Incarcerated bosses. Learn from mistakes, but we gon' win. We live on Vent Radio.